Well, hello, Facebook. How are you? I will give everybody just a second to hop on. Hi there. Okay, so we're up on Insta and we got Facebook. So I wanted to hop on and I'll give everybody just a few seconds to get on and just give you some 5 tips that have really helped me with my kids to eat a lot healthier, eat better foods, eat more greens in their foods. Hey, Rochelle. Hey, Mason. And so I just really, this has been on my heart lately, and a few other coaches and we've been talking about this a lot this last week in our groups about helping other women help their kids, because so many women tell us, well, my kids won't eat this, or my kids won't eat that, or they won't eat vegetables, or they won't eat these things. So I wanted to give you 5 tips on what I have done to help my kids to eat better, because I have a very, very picky 5-year-old, and it's just some days is exhausting, and I totally understand how that feels like when your kid just won't eat the good things, or your kid won't eat, or they won't eat any meat, or they just want macaroni, or they just want Cheerios or something like that, and so I understand the frustration that a lot of you are going through. I've got 4 kids and they all are different, and so I'm going to share with you my tips and tricks that I have done to help my kids eat better. So, hey, Crystal. Hey, Agnes. Hey, Patty. How are y'all? Hey, Kim. So I'll just go ahead and get started, since I don't want to keep you guys up too late, and I'm actually in Eastern time as well. So it's 10:15 for me. So some of us don't realize that, like when if somebody buys cigarettes or a can of snuff or whatever it may be, it tells you, or alcohol, it tells you on the label that this could cause blah, 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 could cause this type of cancer. Well, so many of our foods, because they're regulated by the FDA, they are not told that. Like, it just frustrates me so badly that they don't tell you, well, these are actually running your insides. This yogurt is actually really not good for you. Just because it's yogurt doesn't mean that it's not actually doing harm to your stomach, and so in the lining of your stomach. And so if they had the sign on there that actually said that to warn you, but they don't. And so especially Go-Gurts, you guys, kids love them Go-Gurt things, but they're actually not good for you. The things in the Go-Gurts actually strip the lining of their stomach, and that's absolutely terrible. That's what they're feeding our kids. That's what the kid things are mostly not healthy for our kids. They're full of the artificial sweeteners like sucralose are in there that contribute to ADD, ADHD, hyperactivity, chronic headaches, and helps their body to not be able to absorb nutrients or medications. Crazy, right? So it's almost sickening, really, because this is what they're doing to our kids. And so a couple of things that I've found that are kid-friendly for my kids and to help them to choose better food is, like, I've actually sat down and talked to my kids, and I let them read the label, and I read the label to them, and I've shown them, like, this is what this is, and this is what it can do to our bodies. And so they see the importance of that, like, wow, mommy, really cares. And so my 8-year-old, she's old enough and she knows what I'm talking about. My 5-year-old, he knows, like, this is what I'm reading the label to you, and I'm showing you this is what it can happen, and mommy cares about you, and so this is why we're choosing not to do that. And I'm the grocery buyer. I have control of what we buy. So well, my husband goes too, but he knows the things that we do like to get, and the companies that we do support that contribute to good ingredients for our body. So I'm really talking to them as my first tip, like talking to your kids and just letting them know, like, hey, just read the label with them, let them know the importance of it. And I feel blessed that I was able to talk to my kids sooner. Like, sometimes it's harder if you have older kids, of course, in high school, that really make their own decisions. And but you being the positive example really can help them as well. So a lot of you moms out there that are eating cleaner, are doing better in your nutrition, y'all really set the example for your kids, and that is so awesome. And because they are going to see that, and that's something they can take for the rest of their life. My mom was a health guru, and I honestly feel like she did a lot of really good things that helped me through my whole life to be able to stay active and stay healthy and make more conscious decisions later on in my life as an adult. And so my tip number 2 is like hiding the veggies and things. Like I hide veggies in my stuff all the time. I puree those things up. I've made these awesome oatmeal bars, and I will post the recipe to these on my website, and on Facebook. I will do that as well. They're these blueberry oatmeal bars. They're fantastic, you guys. But there's pureed spinach in them. Like, awesome, right? My kid has no clue there's spinach in them, but he knows it's good for him. I'm like, this is really good for you. And he's like, okay. And so he eats it, no big deal. And so that's a really good thing, is to puree up your vegetables. Even like one of our coaches, Marley, this week, she pureed up some kale and put it in the meatloaf. Total crazy, because I always do the carrots and like tomatoes and different things I can puree up and throw in a meatloaf, but I never thought about putting another healthy green that really helps to fight cancer. Kale. Awesome. And it really helps with your skin. Her skin is like looking gorgeous because she's added so much kale into her diet. And so many different things that you can do. So pureeing up your vegetables and hiding them in them can really get your kids those really good benefits of nutrition. And so, especially if you have little ones. And my 3-year-old, she eats any and every vegetable like possible. And then my 5-year-old, he wants to be really picky, saying he doesn't like vegetables, which we know he likes them. It's just like he wants to give us a fight almost every night. And I don't know why he even tries anymore, because we're not giving in. And so I don't even know why he tries it. So my tip number 3 would be either to take your kid to the grocery store with you, or let them look if you online shop, or look at a few things that you might want to know about for some healthy snacks. Let them try them, because more than likely, if they pick them out, they're going to try it, right? They're going to be like, oh, I got this myself, and they're excited to try something new. So I have a video actually of my kids' favorite snacks, and I will post that in the comments here as well. So, thanks for the hearts, you guys. And so, letting them pick out something makes them feel really proud, makes them feel, they're more apt to try something new if they get to pick it out. And even if you're like, hey, what about trying this? Like, it looks kind of cool. And they may be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll try that, Mom. Something like that will entice them to be like, oh, that looks cool. And so I will post a few of my kids' favorite snacks that are clean and healthier, don't have bleach in them, because a lot of our breads have bleach in them, you guys. We're just feeding it to them. And it's like, oh, so many cereals have TBHQ in them. The crackers, little bit different snacks have all these artificial things in it that we're feeding our bodies, that are approved by the FDA, because in small amounts they could be safe. But if we're giving these things to our kids continuously, it's going to do some major damage to their bodies. And that's why cancer rates are on the rise. That's why so many kids are on different medications, because of the things in our food. It's more like drugs, basically. It's something, all these artificial things in our food are compounded. And Marley said this really good this week, and I loved it so much that I felt like so many other people needed to hear it, that, once your body is, you're having these sweet things, these artificial things, it's like a drug to your body. So you want the next thing, and you keep craving these things because your body is like addicted to those things. And so it made so much sense to me. And so many parents need to hear this, because if your kids are having trouble in school concentrating, or they're acting up, maybe reevaluate their diet to see what is really going on. And taking some of the dyes out, some of the artificial sweeteners and flavors can really make a difference. And so that is my tip number 3 to you. Let them pick some things out and maybe reevaluate their diet. Number 4 would be like, this is my favorite, because I have some favorite recipes that my mother-in-law makes, that my friends make, that my own mom has made, and they're not with clean ingredients. But I've taken those things and I've actually recreated my own with good ingredients. So with unbleached flour, like unbleached organic flour, or sometimes you can use almond flour. Be very careful with almond flour. You have to have a right consistency. So I say, if you're just really trying new and starting out, do an organic unbleached flour. And you can find that at Walmart, you guys. It's not crazy expensive. It's just they didn't take any of the shortcuts. They didn't strip your grain of the nutrients and bleach it. I don't even know why they do that process. It's like an extra step, but they strip your food of nutrients. So don't skip out on the good things. And it's not much. The price difference is not crazy much. And Walmart has offered a very good variety now of different healthier foods, and they're even coming out with some of their own brand, the Great Value brand, that you can kind of check out. So on my website at KaylaAnderly.com, so most of my recipes that I've recreated myself are great things that, some of my mom's recipes that she made, like her banana bread and stuff, that I recreated with healthier ingredients, or almonds instead of different nuts or things like that, that I've been able to replace. So I have a conversion chart for you guys, and I will post that down here as well, probably tomorrow. I probably won't get to it tonight, but probably tomorrow, a conversion chart of a few things that you can take out of your diet, like in mayo, replace it with Greek yogurt or something a little bit cleaner, and maybe like organic pure cane sugar instead of just regular sugar, or even stevia or honey for a sweetener, are different options that you can use. So that's my tip number 4. And I'll post a conversion chart tomorrow. And number 5, you're totally gonna hate me for saying this, but a lady told me this one time that she was like really proud of me for doing this, but stick to your guns, parents. Like, it is so hard nowadays because kids, life is different nowadays, and so your kids are mostly with you a lot of the time. If you're not at work and they're not at school, you're usually with your kids. It's very hard nowadays to let your kids roam the streets, and we just live in a different world, right? So I feel like my kids try to push and push and push. Like, they try to push every button, until you're like, oh my gosh, you guys know. So it's easy to give in. Like, when they want something at the store, they're screaming and crying. And it's just like anything else to me, about like brushing their teeth or teaching them how to use the potty. If we waited a lot for the things that we thought they were ready for, or that they were going to choose to do on their own, they would really never do anything. It's our job to teach them. So I feel like this is my job, to teach my kids how to fuel and feed their bodies for the right reasons, and really steer away from emotional eating, because that's a big thing. And I really want my girls to be healthy and happy and be able to know how to feed and fuel their bodies the right way. And because so many of us women have suffered with emotional eating. I don't know if you have or not, but I have. Hello. And so now that I'm educated on that, I know that how I can really help my kids. And so I just really, really encourage you to stick to your guns when you want your kids to eat healthier, or something at the dinner table. Like, honestly, the hard part is to sticking to the guns. And so I can totally relate with you. I can totally understand the frustration and the tears that can be at dinner time. But I've told Matthew several times, Matthew, this is what we're having, and I don't make anything else. This is what we're having, and it's vegetables, and that's what we're eating. Because mostly he eats anything but the vegetables, and he wants to try to get out of eating the vegetables. And you guys, it sounds terrible, but he sits there until he eats them, and he eats them every single night. So I don't even know why he tries to even bypass it. He's always trying to see if he can get away with it. The cute little grin he has. Oh gosh, and he's my only boy. And so it's like, oh, Mom, stick to your guns. So, really just sticking to my guns, saying, Matthew, Mommy made this really good food for you. It's going to nourish your body. This is what we're having. And that's how it is. And, and Nathan has helped me. He's joined forces, locked arms with me and said, this is what we're eating. This is what your mama made. This is what we're having. We're not making nothing else, or you miss out. This is what it is. So I really encourage you on those things, because I know your frustration. I know it's hard. And I've been there, I've been in your shoes, but these are the things that have really helped me to help my family and to help all of us to eat better and really try to get a lot of the chemicals out of their diet. Because when my kids do have something at school or something out of the ordinary that are not our snacks or not cleaner, I notice a big difference in them, you guys, and it's crazy. Like Matthew this last week had like a meltdown, and then later on he had told me that they had made these Oreo something extravagant at school, and I was like, oh, what? And so that day, that's how he reacted to those chemicals in the food that he was eating that he normally does not get. And it was just crazy to see that. And my husband had noticed too. And so my husband's like, I really noticed, and I thank you for, doing that for the kids. And so, it does make a huge difference, and I promise you it will get easier. And I know some days it's hard, because if it wasn't, everybody would be doing it. And so I just really encourage you to make better, the right decision, and help your kids, and to help yourself, because I understand the struggles as a mom to get your kids to eat better, and for even yourself. But you can start being the example. If you start normally, like my kids, with my detox superfoods, the way they started drinking them too was that I made them every day and I was drinking them. And I can tell you honestly, every single day that I had my superfoods, they would steal them. And so that's how they got hooked to them. Whatever I was doing, they wanted to do. And so starting from there, being the example was number one of how I've really done well to get my kids to eat better. So I encourage you guys today to go over to KaylaAnderly.com and subscribe. Tonight is the last night, you guys. It's the last night. I'm giving away the last bag of superfoods. The superfoods will help to detox that body of the processed foods and chemicals that we have in our food. And that is really key to getting those chemicals out of our bodies and helping with the stress and the anxiety and different of chemical reactions that our body is going through, is a really good detox. And so I've gifted this is the last bag, you guys, the fourth one that I'm gifting this Christmas season. And because we've been super blessed, we have some amazing friends and family who want to give back as well. So we've been able to give away the last bag. I'm super excited to give this last bag away. So go over to KaylaAnderly.com, subscribe. It's just a newsletter that you'll get with healthy recipes, kid-friendly recipes, things that I have tried out on my family that you're going to have access to. So when I have a new recipe, I send you an email and that you have access to it. Just right there, boom, something that you can try. Even with a grocery list and meal plans, I have available for you. So go over to KaylaAnderly.com and subscribe to my newsletter, and you have a chance to win this awesome bag of 30-day supply of superfoods. So I thank you all for getting on, and I pray that if you watch this all the way to the end, that you will have a blessed Friday, you have a great weekend and a blessed day, and just wake up in the morning with gratitude and thankful that you have a new day to start. And the hardest decision to ever getting healthier is just making the decision to start. And once you start, it just goes from there, you guys. And it's a continuously lifelong journey of eating better. And the thing is because our foods are different these days. We don't live like how our grandparents lived. And so it's just so different. And it's the food industry and the FDA and pharmaceuticals is a money-making business, you guys. And they're not helping us to get healthier. And so that's why a lot of whole nutrition things are not supported by the FDA or not approved by the FDA they can be mad at me all they want for this video, but that is the truth. That is the honest truth. And so, I just pray that you will be able to help your family to eat cleaner and better and help detox your body of the chemicals and things that we're exposed to, because not only have you guys, but my own family, myself, that's what we were eating too, because we just didn't know. We weren't educated, and I didn't know how to feed my kids better. So I pray that you have a great evening and that you will be blessed and that you will go be a blessing to all those that you meet as well. So thank you guys for getting on, and y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Good night, guys.